John Spinner, I'm the president and co-founder of Victory Impact. Just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight too. And honestly, I just want to start by saying I'm pretty happy to be here. I made it by the skin of my teeth. Woke up early this morning to catch a butt crack and dawn flight. So left my house at 4:30, got to the airport to find out my flight was delayed until 5 o'clock. So I fly out of a small regional airport and flights aren't that frequent out of there. So I was feverishly going from counter to counter at all the airlines trying to see if I could find anything. And I called Anthony, woke him and his wife up, I'm sure, and said, hey man, I don't know if this is going to go down. I'm not finding a flight anywhere. I even checked nearby airports. I've got nothing. And 10 minutes later, lo and behold, Anthony booked me a flight. Was able to drive 2 hours and change and go to another airport and make it here. So he's now not Anthony Cadieux, he's Anthony Concierge Cadieux. So I'm really happy to be here, and good lesson from that flight experience, and it's willingness to change and adapt. It's everything. You can't survive or thrive unless you can change and adapt, and you have to be willing to roll with the punches. You have to be willing to call some audibles on the fly, and as we were sitting here tonight and listening to the utility panel, honestly, they covered a lot of stuff that we were already going to hit. So we're going to skip over the majority of our presentation and just kind of going to really just probably going to introduce you to our project now and, do some shameless self-promotion if that works for everybody. Is everybody good with some shameless self-promotion? That's good because that's all we're getting tonight. So, with that in mind, I'm just going to dive right in and kind of speed through this. I just want to tell you what's, kind of truly, what I feel is truly unique about our project. And then I'll kick it over to Tony. He can tell you more about our actual utility and kind of the foundation and the genesis of our project. And it did spring from utility and having to solve a real world problem. But for us, and when it comes with the shameless self-promotion too, it's because we do want you guys to be part of our community. When we were trying to line up events to promote our token, our marketing team wanted us to go to Bitcoin Miami. We did a minor sponsorship at NYC NFT, but it's not our crowd. It's not who we identify with personally. Like, I know we got a lot of different people's journeys are pretty different coming into crypto. I know we got a lot of libertarians. We've got some just good old-fashioned degens, some anarchists. Some people who just want to start their own country, which is pretty freaking awesome too. But everybody's journey is different. And I think when it comes to this community and this crowd and why we want to be a part of it, it's because we all do share something in common. We believe in the power of cryptocurrency and its limitless potential. And we're not going to be trapped in the confines of traditional finance and really just traditional systems as a whole. Like, we can escape it. We can get rid of all of our overlords. Crypto is limitless and it can solve a lot of problems in the world, and it has a lot of potential. So that's why we are going to shamelessly self-promote and hope to draw you guys into our community and we can become a part of yours. And obviously, hope you buy our token afterwards too. That'd be awesome. But our project is unique, and I think it starts first and foremost with the team. All good projects do start with the team, right? But let's face it, we've all, no matter what our journey is, everybody here, by a show of hand, who's had a rug? Who's been rug pulled? For being a rug pull. Just a pump and dump, anything, just a scam project that you bought into. Anybody? Yeah. I think we can honestly say we all have, and let's face it, the overwhelming majority of projects, even in the current state, there's no real world utility. They don't serve a purpose. And most of the teams don't exist. They're ether. They're all made up. We are fully doxed. Like, our management team is doxed. We have a tremendous amount of experience, albeit in other industries. Myself, I come from the insurance space, 17 years. I founded and sold one company in the insurance space. It was a brokerage. And then I also founded and sold an insurance tech company. Anthony started in at very traditional finance. He's a financial advisor for Merrill Lynch, then Raymond James. He managed over 100 million in assets. As a serial entrepreneur, he gave it all up to found found a coconut water company, and you can drink that out late too. The finest coconut water you're ever going to find. Oh, I would love to hear it. So it's actually, Tony's pretty humble, but it's actually in the markets it's in, Sprouts being the biggest distributor right now, it's actually outselling all the other coconut waters on the shelf. In some cases, 2-to-1. So, if you see it in your local supermarkets, grab it, drink it. It's delicious. Told you it was shameless plug night, so we're gonna keep it rolling.
And we appreciate, again, being here. And I will warn you, I'm not as funny as John. He's got
Much better looking.
But again, my name's Tony. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Victor Impact. And, like John said, when the team asked us to be here, I saw the name and my first blush was like, shitcoin, like, why do we want to go to that? And, they quickly told me that this is where all the serious people in crypto are going to be this week. The people who are embracing, call it what you want, but, people we've talked to, we're embracing change here. And that's exactly why John and I got involved in this project. It came from our involvement in a national charity that we're on the board of. And walking out of the board meeting, we were tasked to raise some more money from charity. And I looked at John and I said, hey, what do you think about starting our own cryptocurrency? And John was like, all right, sure. So, up to that point, we talked a lot about it. One of the biggest issues we had with cryptos at the time was that a lot of them just didn't really add any value, right? Past the memes they were offering, past people buying into them, there really wasn't a reason or utility that they were supporting. So we quickly started to talk about, okay, what business are we going to have around this? How are we going to provide cash flow to the token? One of the first ideas was actually attaching a cryptocurrency to coconut water. Like John said, we have national distribution. We're in thousands of stores, and we thought we might be able to do something to add value to our customers with that. And then literally the same day, John called me and he goes, hey, Tony, I think we figured out a way to offer actual same type of discounts in consumer goods, but really the big one that came out was with travel. So if anyone's booked a hotel room, and I'm sure all of us are staying in a hotel or some kind of Airbnb right now, some of you book rooms through the hotel website, whether it be Hilton or Marriott. Others book rooms through hotels.com, Expedia, Travelocity. And the way those sites work is that originators, the big hotel rooms, they have unsold rooms, and what they do is they put them out there for these secondary companies to sell. People buy them, and then those companies get paid a commission to sell those rooms. And companies like Expedia, they're worth billions and billions of dollars because they collect a lot of those commissions. So what we've done is we've created an ecosystem here, and we actually just got word from one of our teammates over here, Ben, today, who's taking the lead with our tokenomics. If you haven't met Ben, definitely go talk to him. He's the guy who can answer all the questions on the team about the math involved in the project, so point that to him.
Much smarter than the two of us.
But essentially what we're doing is we're creating an ecosystem where we can take that commission, we can give it back to everyone who uses our currency. So, like, for example, you're going to be saving anywhere between 40 to 60% on hotel rooms. To give you an example, I was booking a trip to Disney for my daughter's birthday at the end of the year, and nice hotel, typically would be out of my budget, but the Waldorf Astoria, trading for like $850 a night on Waldorf.com and other travel sites, and on our site, you'd be able to get it for a cost of $100, $400. And the big way that we're doing that, like I said, is that you're getting that rebate in the form of Victory Impact Coin. And then from there, there's some additional strengths of the project to where we are going to capture a little bit of that margin that we get from the originators to push back the community. We're going to have an anti-inflation measure in the protocol. And really what that's going to do is going to allow us to actually truly deliver a project that by people using the token, we're going to drive value into the token. And we think for the first time ever, we're going to be one of those projects where we don't have to rely on people purely just going and buying our coin on exchanges. We're going to benefit from people using our project and using the coin. And then from there, we have plugins to consumer goods. So phase one is travel. Then we have consumer goods. So everything from diapers to call it Apple iPads, up to 300 million different SKUs. we're going to be able to offer up to 30 to 40% savings on those. So, for example, you want to buy, your significant other a piece of technology for Christmas or birthday, you pay for it, and then you get a rebate in the form of Victory Impact Point. And then, of course, as the name stands, Victory Impact, we are supporting some really notable charities that we think are going to impact generational poverty, are going to help kids who have illnesses, and then, of course, we do have some veterans on our team, so we're going to support our veterans as well. So, again, kind of went through that pretty quickly, I know, but if anyone has any questions, I kind of just like to.
Yeah, couple points.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, on the utility piece, guys, I think it's really kind of important to understand the token. There we go.
What's that? Oh, that was working.
I think it's just my energy. It's too high right now. It's too much coffee. So, the token is built around the actual. We heard the utility panel talk about Web 2.5. I mean, it really is. And at this point, we need Web 2.5 projects to bridge the gap. The token is built around the actual business. Like, it is what supports the business. There is no business without it. When somebody does do a transaction, they'll mint a token and subsequently burn a token. That is your reward back. It's a USD denomination discount, but it is coming back in our token. And that's what allows us to give away the margin to the consumer. So literally, cryptocurrency is what supports our project. And of course, you'll be able to buy it on some kexes, and then obviously all this, the decentralized exchanges, excuse me. But ultimately, we will have a viable business with it as well. Lastly, I just want to touch on a couple more points too. We mentioned that we are fully doxed, have extensive management experience. We also put our money where our mouths are. Our team, our executive team, has currently we put in $225,000 of our own money to fund the early marketing, build out of the token, and then starting our Web 2 dev. And we've also funded a liquidity pool of $100,000. So we're going to be coming to market as a shitcoin, but with $100,000 of liquidity and a $300,000 market cap, which I think is incredibly special. And I mean, I don't know too many altcoin non-VC projects that are going to have that type of liquidity at that low market cap. So those are kind of my last couple of pieces. Again, thank you guys. I do want to do a quick shout out to a couple more team members. Ben, also known as Fatty McCrypto and Fat Crypto Junkie. AKA, there's quite a few other ones too, but those are the two big ones. Also want to give a shout out to Mark Dingle. Mark is our Chief Operating Officer. Mark is an MBA from Cornell. Mark has worked as an executive for IBM, for American Express, but has really carved out his niche working on digital startups, some in the fintech space, some overall in the digital space. He's been an incredible asset, an incredible mentor. And then lastly, in the back, our creative director and director of media, Aiden DeMoli. Aiden is a U.S. Marine, but also one of the genuinely most talented people I've ever met. And thank God we have him, because Tony and I do not have that level of talent or artistic ability. So just want to say thank you guys as well for flying out here and being here.
And we certainly want to build a platform like we would go on Cadieux, and ultimately we're bringing a green, whatever we're doing, and we're getting a rebate.
Exactly. So it's going to be a very familiar process. It's going to be something that everyone in this room has gone through before. You're going to log in, you're going to select the hotel room that you want. After your stay, you're going to get a rebate in the form of Victory Impact Point.
So, just one more thing to that point. As was mentioned earlier in the utility panel, we feel that's the only way to bridge and kind of get more mass adoption of crypto. I think there's about 50 million people currently, at least domestically in the U.S., that hold wallets. We feel to get mass adoption, you're going to have a much easier on-ramp first and foremost. So we feel that's an incredibly easy on-ramp. Ultimately, you're going to be able to use our token on the buy side as well. But when we launch, we're looking to just go on and purchase with a major credit card and then get the rebate back in our token.
but then later on down
It's going to be a currency. Yeah.
Correct.
Both,
Correct.
both for the travel side and then for the e-commerce side as well. The e-commerce is, going to be an Amazon-esque shopping experience. Picture that in mind. I was going to make a joke on another project, but some people might still be hodling it, so I'll do it anyway. So we do, yeah. So we want to keep the deflationary aspect because ultimately we want to support the community that supported us as well and keep driving that because without the token, like there is no platform. It supports our whole business model.
So my understanding is that you take some of the profits from the website and you buy the token and then burn it, correct?
Yeah, so I mean that is the mechanism. So we're actually buying the token back and effectively locking it away, never letting it see the light of day again. Oh, sorry, I know you had a question too. Oh, okay, perfect, awesome. Any other questions? I don't know if we have time, but we're going with.
Yeah, I guess I have two questions. Given your future, have you already raised money? I think you said you have.
Yeah.
So if you get that to already raise money and that you guys thoughts that you talked about and started making it after, and also is there any plan?
Thank you. Thank you for that question and a great question that we did not cover. I think one of the important notes on that, we've actually obtained counsel from a very credible firm. They, have a great securities team. And I think one thing you'll find about our project is we're very intentional about every step. We don't rush into anything. When we say we raise funds, this is actually cash USD dollars. We haven't sold any token. And it was our own executive team funds. And then on the actual liquidity pool, it's high net worth investors that have funded it. And we're keeping 200 whitelist spots open too. But that's pure liquidity pool. Oh, thank you. That's pure liquidity pool. We'll never touch that. And as far as us funding the project in the future with the token, we do have a 5% tax. We call it our victory contribution. 3% goes to corp, 2% goes to charities. That's directly to a 501c3 that has no employees. It's a straight pass through to charities. But as far as we use that token tax to fund all of our regular business expenses. So the actual value of the token has no bearing on our performance. We're not using actually any token sale. It's that tax, which we feel very comfortable with. Ultimately, well, I'll speak frankly, who the fuck knows? Because Gary Gimler's terrible. But, we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball, but we just are minimizing risk the best we can. And ultimately, if that day comes, we hope to be sitting on a pile of money and we will fight it to the death. Let's go, Ripple.
Where do they find you? Last minute.
Absolutely, Tony.
Yeah, so we're Twitter, Victory on ETH, Instagram, Victory Impact, and then Telegram handle, Victory Impact as well.
And victoryimpact.io is the website. And on the way out, guys, we actually have a banner. You can just scan it and it'll link you to all our socials.
Thank you, everyone.